Okay. So here we are once again. Sorry, I just had to check on the incense burner. It suddenly started smoking a lot. I wanted to make sure everything was okay over there. Here we are again. And we're ready for another Canvas Creations art stream. Now, granted, I know we're not on canvas today. I know that. I forgot to put the band-aid on my finger. Keep that spot on my finger from getting too sore because I death grip my paintbrushes. And I don't hold them the way most people do, so. Alright. So, when we last left off, we had gotten our background in. We did our sketch. We got our background in. And then we started work on the flower. So we're going to pick up working on the flower again. I'm not sure which color I want to go on top here. I really wasn't sure which color I wanted to go with. I kind of want to go with this one. It feels like it's got a little bit more... This one. I feel like it's got a little bit more of the dark to it. I'm not sure if we're going to use this one. This might not be quite the right family. We might. I have to think about it, but we're going to start with this one. I had pulled some colors out before I put everything away last week, so I didn't have to go digging since I knew we were still working on this guy. So, oh, that's a little clumpy. Don't explode everywhere. Come on. Sometimes the paint gets a little stringy on the craft paint as it starts to get a bit older. Oh, where's my paint towel? So I need my drying towel. Alright, so we'll see how this goes. I might need to grab a little... I might either need to grab a different brush or I might need to grab some more of that dark paint. And I kind of might need to go like a little back and forth with this. Make sure you shake your paint. So I know we might end up covering a lot of that petal underneath. But I felt it was necessary to get that dark down. Under there because I had a feeling that this color was going to be a little bit transparent, and it is to a degree. And it'll help get our undershadowing in there. But I'm also gonna... Do I want this brush or do I want a different one? Let me see if I can get a fine enough point going. This one's kind of like all over the place with its bristles here. Might need to yeah, you know what, I'm gonna grab the one script liner I have because this one's actually kind of chunky for what I want to do here. So the good thing with acrylic paint is if you're really not loving what you did underneath, or what you just did, you can always paint over it. Alright, let me grab that script liner here. If I can find it. It shouldn't have vanished that deeply into our brush bucket. Where'd you go, friend? Thought we had you out last week, to be perfectly honest. I've got a lot of stuff in this brush bucket. Where are you? Well, there's the brush that we were doing the background with. Just making sure it's not on my desk. I didn't hold it out for ease of finding. I mean, that's a possible brush we can use, but it's not the brush I wanted. Last week it was an eraser. This week, oh, wait, is that it? No. That's not it. Oh, there you are. I gotcha. Alright. So that wasn't too bad. Okay. Let me rinse this one out. Just so we don't have the paint dry in it. But that's a bitch. Alright. So, let's see. I'm gonna get this one a little bit wet. I'm gonna just dry it a little. And we'll see if this is still a little barely touching it. Just barely. Okay. I did mix a little bit of water into this, not much. Not much. But it feels a little gray, so I might grab this one just to give it a little bit of light. So this lighter color is Hyacinth. And this one is Iris. I am tapping off a little bit. And you know, even though we have the reference photo there, it doesn't have to be exact to the photo. It could be a crazy color flower that no one's ever seen before. You know, you do what you want to do. And even though I'm putting these colors in, I'll probably end up coming back in with that original color. And going back over top of it. Alright. So yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of give and take here. If you do keep wetting your brush, just make sure you don't have any water drops that are potentially going to be a problem. Okay, that feels a little bit more like what I'm looking for. So we're just gonna have to kind of play with it a little back and forth here. So I hope everybody's having a good weekend. And you all are enjoying the lead up to the holiday. Oh no. Ah! Water drops. How did that happen? When did that happen? That's not good. So I know this brush is a little small, but it's actually doing what I want it to, so kind of want to get the crevices of our flower petal in there. All right. I tried to start sooner today, I really did. But sleep won out. I was actually awake at like 9, but I'd only had like 3 hours of sleep, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. So I was like, well, maybe I'll go back to sleep for just a little bit. and we'll see. Because I was kind of awake, but I was kind of still really fucking tired. Which I thought was strange. But I think I woke up because I had to pee, so I was like, ugh, curses. I can pee right before I lay down and I will still wake up and be like, hey, time to pee. So annoying. But I guess waking up to pee is better than not waking up to pee, so involves a lot less laundry. Alright. So since the iris color is still a bit wet down there on the board, it might be a little streaky. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, because this is a script liner, we might have to make sure that we are getting the brush wet just to keep the paint on there flowing just a little bit. So we are going to have to let that dry a little because it is starting to pull up the other colors, which can happen. So that's okay. If that starts to happen, just give it a minute. Go ahead and move to a different section. Just give that a couple minutes. So I'm trying to move a little bit quickly, but at the same time, I just don't want to slap the paint on here completely willy-nilly because we don't want to have to fix any sloppy mistakes later. So it is something to be mindful of because we do want to keep the shape of our petals. Especially as we get down here closer to the tip. I mean, we could probably fix it if we have a little bit of an accident. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. Still looks like it wants to pull up there, so might just have to be a little bit more gentle in that section. And I can kind of tell when the brush is starting to get a little bit dried out. You can kind of feel it when you're dragging it. And you'll start to see it too. Just kind of want to get this color blended in as best as we can. Okay. Doesn't help that I have the piece turned so that I can't really see. Wow, that one spot is just being super stubborn. Okay, so that should be all right there. So I mean, not all of the petals are gonna look the same. They're just not. I can still feel like I see something there that I don't like, but that could also just be me being fussy about it. Because I do get fussy with some things. Alright, can you believe that the mice are back in the attic? Like, what the hell? It's gotta be a new batch. We had just gotten rid of them all. Or at least we thought we had gotten rid of them all. We weren't hearing anything for like 2 weeks. Easy. We had pulled the camera down from the attic. We pulled the traps down. We had put our camera back outside. And then Friday night, I'm sitting here and I'm like, what was that? Like, it almost sounded like, no, it can't be. And I thought I was hearing things because I still had the window cracked open, and I was like, well, maybe it's something from outside. maybe I'm just, you know, so ingrained that that noise is coming from the ceiling that it might not be. It was. Because a little bit later, I heard it again, and Zuzu jumped up and left the room. Because he does not like ceiling noises whatsoever. And he just kind of noped on out of here, and I'm like, where are you going? I was like, some guard dog you are. And he's like, nope, I'm out. And I think he went in with my mom. I was like, you brat, you left me. And I didn't see him back for a couple of hours, and then last night I heard it pretty distinctly. And the funny part was Zuzu had gotten up a few moments before I heard it and left, and I was like, where the hell did he go? And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, right. Of course. All right. So, like, not every petal is going to look identical. And that's fine. They really probably shouldn't. I mean, they should look somewhat similar. Like, at least similar enough to realize that they're all part of the same flower. But they don't have to be, like, spot on the nose. This is how it should look. I mean, a little bit of variation. Maybe one's a little darker than the other. I mean, the light could be hitting it. Maybe one's got a little more kinks or something, a little more ruffleage happening in the petals. You know, that's fine. Don't drive yourselves too crazy. Okay. Keep on working on getting our petals in here. So I don't know if we're gonna get to the mosaic tile lines on this week. We may end up wrapping it up next week. Just because we still have to do the butterfly. And I'm looking at how long it's going to take us to shade our flower in here. So is everybody getting ready for the holiday? Are you ready for the holidays? We're almost ready. I still have to do our Christmas ornament for this year. I have not done it yet. I honestly keep forgetting to do it. So, I have to remember to do it. You alright? Mm-hmm. And, I've just been kind of distracted, kind of busy. Wasn't really sure what I was gonna do this year. I think I want to do a snowman this year. I did a terrible fail thumbprint last year. Can't remember if it was my thumbprint or the husband's thumbprint of a reindeer standing in the snow. If my brown paint had been a little bit more opaque, it would have probably looked a heap ton better. But it was pretty transparent on a black, not a black, but a dark background, like a dark blue background, so the reindeer looks black and not brown. So it kind of just looks like this weird ass black blob on there, and I'm like, that didn't really come out the way I was expecting it to. Alright. I was like, It's all sorts of derpy in its wonderful homemadeness. But like homemade ornaments should be derpy to some degree, right? So, hey Mrs. Rock Guru. How are you? So this one might be a little bit darker because it's kind of squashed in here. I mean, we might lose a lot of this when we go to put the tile lines in next week, so... Oh, that's not what I wanted. So I'm not gonna fuss too hard at getting the perfect blend, but... Oh, lovely, lovely. It's always good to hear. Alright. This is probably one of the more painstaking tile-y pieces I've done. I usually do them a lot more simplified because it's like, oh, there's gonna be lines going on top of it, so you're not really gonna see that much of the shading, but at the same time, maybe I was doing it an injustice by not going that hard into it, so we'll see how this goes. I am fully aware that we might lose a good amount of the shading and the veining and stuff, so I'm well aware. So hopefully everybody's doing all right. Having a lovely afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is where you are. Sorry if my voice is a little extra shitty. I've been doing a lot of talking the past couple of days. So we had the Timberborn stream on Friday, which went way longer than I was expecting to go, but I got so involved with trying to make sure they weren't going to starve. The next thing I knew, like, I was aware of the time at first. I'm like, okay, it's this time, and I'm like, we're okay, and then I was like, okay, well, you know, it probably won't be that long of a stream, and I was like, we'll probably end up stopping earlier than I normally do, and I'm watching the time, and I'm like, okay, and then next thing I know, I looked at the time, and it was like 6 o'clock or just about, and I was like, oh, damn. So that ended up being like a 5-hour stream. And we had the streams on Wednesday and Thursday before it. And then last night I was on the podcast. Plus my allergies are kicking my ass. We had to put the heat back on. It got cold as shit. That cold front that came through Friday night, oh my goodness, that was scary. That was very scary. We actually did end up in a tornado watch, and we did have a tornado warning for our town. I'm not sure if there was actually one on the ground. Nobody in town reported any damage, because I'm sure there would have been pictures galore on the Facebook page that a lot of the busybodies use in town, and I didn't see any. So I was like, well, okay, maybe it was just more like of a funnel situation, and it hadn't actually got down to the ground. But I don't know. They did open the tornado shelter at the school, but you can't bring your pets, and with the speed at which my dad moves, yeah, we never would have gotten there. So it was like, okay, and my dad refused or couldn't get up to come in the bathroom. And then my mom didn't want to come in the bathroom because my dad couldn't really get in there, and I'm like, oh my god, people. And then we couldn't get Momo to get up to come in, so Russell's like, just take Suzu. But we didn't really have any damage, but oh, it got so loud. It didn't, like, I thought it was rain at first, but there wasn't that many puddles outside, so it might have just been the wind. Oh, those storms flew through here. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the air outside, like, it was weird right before they came through. Like, it just felt creepy. Like, sometimes it feels creepy out there just in general, but this felt weather creepy, like something was about to happen. And yeah, I did not like that. Was not a fan. So strange to have that kind of severeness in December here. Just so crazy. Oh, and then hearing about how bad everywhere else got it. Like, I was up half the night watching somebody covering it on YouTube, and it was just insane because it was just one tornado warning after another. And he was just mystified staring at the radar, and he's like, that can't possibly be a tornado signature. It's so huge. And he goes, maybe it's some kind of artifact on the radar that's not really there. Maybe the radar is just not really seeing it. I mean, that tornado possibly went 200 miles. The one that almost, or practically did wipe out the town in Kentucky. And it was, oh. And the people in the town were like, it was suddenly just there. Now, I don't know what kind of warning system they had in that town. And I do know a lot of Kentucky is rural and pretty poor. So I don't think many people probably could afford their own storms shelter. And then, hearing about people that were in storm shelters in factories and stuff that were working overnight shift for Christmas and for the Christmas season, for companies that were like, we're really behind, we're really low, trying to keep up with the Christmas demand stuff. And what they went through, holy shit. Like, the one factory, the lady said, we were in the storm shelter, and all of a sudden we felt a gust of wind, and I'm like, why would you be feeling a gust of wind in the storm shelter? That's a little unnerving. I mean, I know the storm shelters have like ventilation on them, but still, the wind had to be that strong to force it back through to gust. And I'm like, oh damn. And then she said their ears started popping, the building started shaking, and then the next thing they knew, the building fell on top of their storm shelter. And I was like, and after everything was done, she was saying she was trapped under a wall with a water fountain pinning her. And I'm like, oh God. And then, that night in the dark, the pictures looked bad, but it was so much worse than I think people expected when daylight came. Absolutely awful. There's just so many tornadoes that night. It was crazy. It was like a springtime supercell event. It was so weird. I'm still in frame. Wasn't sure there for a moment. Probably gonna have to put some more of this dark purple paint out. just to make sure that we've got enough to work with here. So I was thinking about adding some white to this, but I think that might be a little overkill. Okay. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Alright, I am actually going to rinse our brush just to make sure the brush doesn't get too clogged up here. And I'm gonna at least dry the ferrule, the metal thing. Gonna at least dry that off. And get that cleaned up a bit there. Alright, so what's everybody up to? How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did you just kind of chill out at home? I don't know what restrictions everybody's currently under. I don't know if people are even allowed to go anywhere in some areas. I don't know. Alright, so that one feels like it's going to be a little fussy. So while that one is doing its thing and starting to set up, I'm going to come over here and start to work on this one. So you just hit 150 mounts the other day? Nice. Well done. That's a lot of work getting those mounts. Especially the ones that are rep based. I still need to go back and get the mounts from Argent Tournament. I got the easier ones to get. But I didn't get the ones that involve a shit ton of badges. I don't know if I have the patience to do that. I mean, I don't even have the patience to go back in and work on world quests right now, so... Nor do I really have the time. I'm sure if I didn't have anything else going on, I probably would just for the sake of something to do. But I just haven't had the time. To be perfectly honest, before they started pushing out the expansions pretty quick, when we had so much downtime in between the expansions, I would take that time to go mount farming and work on slowly doing all of the reppy things and trying to get to Exalted so I could go in and get the mounts and stuff. But then when they started putting the expansions out so quick, I was kind of like, I don't have time. Because this is what I do in the downtime. And then I just fell so far behind, I was kind of like, fuck it. I don't have time for this. Which is a shame because there's still quite a few mounts I'd like to get. But I've got other things that need doing that are taking more of a priority. I suppose you could say. But my goal is to try to work on some stuff for the shop on these upcoming Saturdays that I have off from doing show stuff for Lita. At least that's the plan. Don't know if that'll happen, but I'd like to work on some pin ideas, or at least see if I can get the one pin idea to work. I have a feeling these couple of Saturdays that I don't have to do show stuff are just gonna fly. And I might not get done the stuff I want to do. But I still have Bloodthirsties I have to work on. I am so far behind. This week, I just... Oh, the beavers took all of my give a damn. Nope, nope. Well, I guess you can kind of live on the edge there. That's fine. So you're just getting all the class mounts from Legion still. You need to finish Warrior, Death Knight, Rogue, Mage, Monk, Druid. Yeah, I've still got 6 Bloodthirsties. I am trying to get to max. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be into next year before that happens. Just because of how I play and the fact that I want to just play them on Rested, and I am leveling them on stream. Or leveling them up on stream, so... It's gonna take a little bit of time. So I'm just hoping that I can get it done before the next X-Pack comes out, because I don't know when that may happen. Or if we are getting another X-Pack. I don't know. So all I can do is hope that I can get it done. I've got 6 classes to go. The lowest is level 20 something. 24? 25? Trying to remember who the lowest is. I think the lowest is the warrior. Can't remember what level they last hit. So I mean, we still have quite a ways to go. I'm not kidding myself there. I know it. I definitely know it. So we'll see. I definitely feel a little bit of pressure on it. I have to make sure that I am being extremely careful, because if someone dies, then they probably won't get there. Because it would probably take me almost another year if I only do 1 level a week after they hit 10. So we'll see. I mean, one can try, right? Not even sure how much of the shading is coming through, because my preview is so small. I'm not sure if I really need to be zoomed in further. If you guys are having trouble, let me know, and I'll see about zooming that back in a bit. All right. Get this color. Try to lighten that up just a little. Okay. Kind of liked this petal the best, and haven't been able to get anybody else to look even remotely close to it since then. Oh goodness. That's okay. That's okay. Alright. I mean, I'm okay if, you know, the second pacifist doesn't make it to 60. I mean, that's fine. Not that big of a deal since we've gotten one of those up there. I mean, I still have Soul Snuggles to work on too. And I had kind of put her on the back burner for a little bit so that I could focus on that play slot with someone that's a class that I haven't gotten to max yet, because she is sort of a duplicate class since we already got Soul Snuffer to max of the Bloodthirsty. So it seems like, you know, since we're getting down probably closer to crunch time for trying to get shit done in the time that it takes me to do them, that I should probably just kind of sit her temporarily. I'll get back to her eventually. Or I might just kind of work on her on the side, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be a few weeks before. Well, a few weeks. It's probably going to be a couple months before we get back to her. 'Cause hopefully the monk will hit 60 this week. Not 60, 50. Oh my god. I'd like her to hit 60. But hopefully she'll hit 50. Excuse me for the misspeak. Hopefully she'll hit 50 this week, and then she'll be moving on in to Bastion. I could use the flight toy scouting map thing that Zaya found, where it can let you leave the island of Bastion as a Bloodthirsty without needing to do Threads of Fate. But at the same time, as I've been out doing things in other zones when I was working on flying and stuff, I did not find another zone that was a good fit for me doing Bloodthirsty. He said he's been in one specific spot in Arden, between somewhere in Heart of the Forest, Tierna Vale or something. I don't know, all the names out there kind of sound the same to me. Or Trina Vale, and between there and Heart of Forest, he was killing moths wherever he was. And he said most of the mobs are neutral where he is, but occasionally he'll have like an extra neutral mob aggro, but he is on a hunter, so I don't know if his pet's doing an AoE and picking that up. But I have seen that some neutrals, if you pull one that's sitting on top of another neutral, they will tend to both pull, which is interesting. I don't know if those two are somehow linked together or if it's just, you know, proximity. But it's never a good feeling to see suddenly two coming at you. I mean, if you're on a hunter, you've got ways to do that. Oh, what is that? Oh, the scouting map. It's from the heirloom vendor. It's kind of like the flight plan toys that were for Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, but they added them in for all of the expansions now. They do have some requirements to purchase them. Excuse me. Sorry, my sinuses were like, oh, we're gonna drain now. Right, so there are some requirements to purchase them. Sorry, my words left me there briefly. And most of them are just explore the zone. So, I mean, it's something that you would probably end up buying on your mains. But, I mean, once you own it, then, you know, your other tunes can use it from your toy box. So I would ask him directly where he's been leveling, because I may have gotten it wrong. I'd have to go back through mod chat to get the name right. I mean, I can at a later time. I just don't want to do it right now. But yeah, so they took the rare kill requirement and the chest requirement away from the Shadowlands one. And now it's just you have to have explored all of the zones on the character that's buying the thing, and is learning it to add it to the toy box. They are 10,000 gold a piece though, and I haven't bought them yet because I wasn't sure I wanted to drop 10,000 gold on that, but he said he tested it on a live Bloodthirsty and it didn't look like learning it gave any quest completion, and it let him fly to other zones since he had the flight point without having Threads of Fate world quest options. So because Bloods can't use that or can't take that. So it was interesting that we have at least that sort of workaround for Bloodthirsty. You have at least 107k on one of your tunes. Yeah, I think I have like a total of 172 across all of my characters, but some are Horde. So I can't really count that. I made a good chunk of change with Gentle Soul while getting her to 60. Just mining and herbing in Bastion. Some of the stuff took a couple tries to sell depending on how undercut I was on Auction House, but I made enough to, between what she sold and what I had already, that I was sitting on to get another token. So I don't have to worry about my sub until the end of February, beginning of March. Your Alliance tunes total is 243 and your Horde total is 17. Yeah, I'm not sure what my Horde total is. I'd have to, like, I've been slowly filtering out, like, I have Bagnon, and that finally updated for the most recent patch. So I was removing, like, I left some money on some of my challengers that hit 60. I didn't completely pull all their cash, just in case we do get another X pack so that they have something to work with. But I left them with like under 1,000. It was probably like maybe 500-600 gold, just in case they needed to have money to travel somewhere or get some more food or something. But the rest of their money I pulled off and sent to my bank alts, and I've been trying to filter out my non-challengers, take them off of the list, or the challengers that that have hit 60 and they're done. I've already pulled their cash, so I can actually get a better feel for what I have left on me that I can pull from. Now, I haven't checked token prices recently, so I don't know what they're currently at. I think when I got mine several weeks ago, it was 204,000, I think. And then I did try to go farming, gathering on my main gatherer that I leveled first this X-Pack, and I didn't really have a goal with hers, or her. So, I just couldn't motivate myself to do it. So I was like, I've got other shit I gotta do. So, I didn't really get very far. I mean, I probably could have gotten another token by now if I had actually been out there collecting materials, but at the same time, if I don't have proper motivation, I'm just like, yeah, there's like 10 other things I should be doing right now. Like, I've barely gotten any demo done in Minecraft because I'm so behind with my challengers at the moment for Wednesday. Was not expecting to be quite this far behind. I still have 3 to level. I did get the monk finished last night. She took me 2 days because I was just tired and just wasn't in the mood. But I have the druid, the death knight, and the demon hunter left to level for Wednesday. Druid's probably gonna take about 3 hours. Maybe, depends on how distracted I am. Could be closer to 2. Demon hunter's probably gonna be about 3 hours. Death Knight, Death Knight's getting up there. Death Knight might be 3 to 4 hours, so I need to try to at least get one of them done tonight. Because I had stuff I wanted to do tomorrow. Off computer, so I wanted to get a couple batches of cookies made. Husband wanted some more peanut butter blossoms, and I want to make some more gingerbread. Token is currently 202. Okay, that's not too bad. Because it was fluctuating pretty hard. I'm actually surprised it's that low with 9.2 on PTR. To be perfectly honest, I kind of expected it to be a little bit higher. I mean, I'm glad it's not. But I am surprised. All right. I'm getting this one shaded in here. Sorry, my chair is squeaking. It's a new chair, so either it's not broken in yet or it's just a squeaky chair. The back of it's still kind of crunchy when I lean back into it, so. You had an add-on which gives you a running total of all your tunes and the latest for the token. Just can't remember what it is. I mean, I usually either just go to Auction House and check, or Wowhead has it posted on the front page of the site somewhere. Alright, hang on. I do need to put my thing on. The past couple nights I was sleeping without the wrist brace just to give my hand a rest. And I'm not sure if it's the angle I've got my wrist at right now or what, but my hand's going a little tingly, so. Could be from my neck too. That's entirely possible. Alright. I grab just a little bit more on that. Alright. So this part starts to be where it slows down a little bit because, you know, doing the details on the petals and stuff. And, you know, this could be as detailed or as not detailed as you want it. Like, I could have just been like, we're gonna be doing tile lines through here. We'll just leave it. But it wasn't quite the right shade that I wanted, so. I mean, some mosaic-y things are just, you know, the basic colors and are simplified, and that's fine too. If that's what you want, then do it. Put that a little tight. And I also have a piece of my hair in the Velcro. Wonderful. Velcro is a lovely invention, but it's kind of tough when you have animals because all of the things get into the Velcro. All of the fur, all of the fuzz. Alright. So your paladin and priest are 55, the demon hunter is 53, warlock is 50, mage is 48, then rogue is 43, your pacifist druid is 26, and your Iron Man hunter is 20. Nice. So you've been busy. Yeah, I think our highest remaining challengers for Bloodthirsty are, I believe, well, the monk's going to be 49. Well, the monk is 49. I'm hoping that we'll hit 50 this week. And then next week will be Bastion time. And then I think the Death Knight is 41. I think we're shooting for 42. I think the Druid is 35. The Demon Hunter is 31. No. Maybe. I don't remember. But the lowest is like 24, 25, something like that. Could be 26 by now. But yeah, we've got some ground to cover. So we'll see what happens here, but I know my next few Saturdays I'm gonna spend working on some potential stuff for the shop. Because I've been meaning to get to that. I've just been busy. So tomorrow, my goals, I don't know if I'm going to complete them, but my goals are to get 2 batches of cookies made, and try to get these bloodthirsties wrapped up for Wednesday. I need to get into Minecraft and smelt some more sandstone for Thursday. Like, we have some, but I'm not quite certain I have enough. Ready, so because we did blow through a lot of it this past Thursday, so I'm caught up with getting everything exported over to YouTube. And at the moment I'm caught up with everything for WoW challenges. I do still have to do the article for Winter's Veil, but there's not a whole lot I can do with that until Thursday anyhow. So, because I kind of need to wait until day of to see what's going on, because Wowhead's been really kind of weird with how they've been updating the holiday stuff. They've been too busy data mining, or they lost a writer. I'm not sure which. But Pilgrim's Bounty was kind of disjointed. I never saw them tweet that they updated the original guide for the holiday, but I did see 2 separate articles about new stuff that was Covenant related to the holiday. And I'm like, okay, but you could have, updated the main guide and put new for this year, and you didn't. They may have gone back and done it. I just didn't see it. And I just thought that was so strange. I feel like they've just been too busy or too worried about all this data mining, and I'm like, you know, I know everybody's excited to find out the new stuff that's coming and everything, but it is on PTR and people could go look if they want to. And I just feel like when there's so much data mining going on constantly, and you've had the talk of the new stuff just kind of being thrown at you nonstop, that you get like a week or two of it being live, and then you're like just so, at least for me, so exhausted or so burnt out on it already because you just kind of had it thrown at you that it's like, okay, what's next? And it's I don't know. I mean, I know they're just trying to get everybody hyped for what's coming, but it feels like it goes on for so long that it kind of sort of maybe loses its impact once it goes live. Like, it's not as exciting now because it's already been talked about for, you know, X number of weeks ahead of time. I don't know. I'm probably just weird about that. And yeah, I could just, you know, turn spoilers on and stuff, but I also kind of need to know in case there's anything Challenger related that could affect us. So I kind of can't. I don't know. I'm just in a weird place with all of the data mining stuff, so. I mean, I know some people must love it because they keep doing it. But I kind of miss the old days where things were a surprise to find out. I mean, I also wasn't playing Challengers then either, but I can see where having a heads up is a good thing challenge-wise in case we have to do something about it or investigate something, but lately I've only been kind of skimming over headlines and I'm like, does anything look like it's going to be an issue for us? And if it looks like it's mostly endgame stuff, then I'm kind of like bouncing out. And I was like, okay, whatever. Now, I don't think I've seen anything that's really gonna be an issue for Challengers. We'll fix that antenna when we get to the butterfly. It looks like it's all endgame stuff coming, so I mean, most people don't play their Challengers for, you know, after they hit 60 or whatever the max is. They just kind of sit them at that point and wait to see if we're gonna get another X pack that they can dust them off for. Loud car. But so I mean, yeah, like all this stuff that's coming just looks like it's level 60 stuff, so I haven't been concerning myself with it too much. I've been looking at the hotfix lists. I haven't really seen anything there that's gonna perfect calendars too much either. A lot of the hotfixes lately have been like stuff involving talent points or covenant points and stuff. Alright, just cleaning up our brush so it doesn't get too bogged down here. My goodness, we've been painting these petals for an hour now. I had started to go a little bit faster on them, and then I was like, oh, I'm getting sloppy, I can't. Because my hand is not that steady. So our visiting cat outside, who we don't own, doesn't live here. Seems to think he does live here now, because I caught him chilling on our front porch, our doormat, at like 4:30 this morning. I'm like, dude, you don't live here. He still had food, so he was just here chilling. I'm like, it's freezing out. You need to go home. Buddy, it's like, it feels like of 20 some degrees out. You need to go home. It's not a spring evening out here by any stretch of the imagination. And he was just like, meow. So I didn't give him any food because he still had some. But I gave him a pet. And then I heard what sounded like maybe a possible cat fight a couple of streets over, because there's a lot of outdoor, loose, feral cats. And some of the outside dogs got a little riled up, and then he got a little twitchy. And then I was like, alright, well, I'm gonna bounce. I'm going to bed. It's like, you stay out of trouble, sir. No idea if his owners realize how much time he spends in our house, but he kind of looked like he was mouse hunting outside. I don't know where these mice keep coming from that keep getting in the attic. Like, we finally get rid of a bunch, and we had a couple weeks where we weren't hearing anything, and now we're hearing them again, and I'm like, really? Could we just stop with this, please? I'm over it. I'm tired of dealing with mice in the attic. So now we kind of have to wait and see if we're gonna catch anything in the traps that we put back up there. They are live traps, so if we catch any more, we'll just take them back to the lake. And I doubt they found their way back from there. It's a good chunk of ground that they have to cover. Not that far by car, but there's also quite a feral cat population up there. So I would be highly surprised if they were able to dodge that much traffic and cover that much ground. Alright, so I think we're gonna need some more of this hyacinth color. It is chilly in here. I have no idea what the temperature is, but it feels cold in here. But then again, I am sitting here in shorts, so sort of my own damn fault. at least, we're not quite done with Christmas prep yet. We are waiting on a couple of things that we ordered last week to finish off one of the things. Did you get a ship date on that yet? Did it ship?
On what?
The wood stuff?
I haven't checked recently.
I mean, shipping was so cheap, I hope it's actually gonna make it in time. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. All right. Getting this. Well, we're almost. Well, we're not quite almost done. We're about halfway. Well, maybe a little more than halfway. Done these petal guys. All right. Get some more of this veining in. Like, it kind of looks like one solid color on the camera to me, but it's actually not. I would probably have to zoom in a bit more for the variations to pick up. A little bit better. And I am pretty sure our incense went out. Yes, it did. Alright, this is getting a little clumpy. Let's go ahead and refresh our brush here. Okay. So I know it's a little bit subtle, but let me see if I can see. You can kind of see the slight shading on there. It's just the way that the camera's picking up. You guys might actually be able to see it better than I can see it because my preview screen's pretty small. Were you cooking something? Russell?
Huh? What?
Were you cooking something?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Grab some more of the lighter color. I'm always envious of people that can sit down and like 20 minutes later have a completed project. I'm like, how? It takes me so much longer. But I am a little bit more fussy with stuff, so. I would like to work a little bit on my paint by number, maybe on Tuesday. I'll have the chance to do that. I was originally going to stream it, but it was a little big for the area where I could work on streaming it. It wasn't quite gonna work. And I probably should have taken photos from the very beginning, but I think maybe I'll take some photos as I finish each color. So we can sort of have a short progression series. Of photos at the very least. If I end up doing another one, I'll see about trying to set up one of the cameras to time lapse, maybe. Okay. Now we're probably gonna have to redo our antennas entirely, but at least I kind of have the placement for where they should go, roughly. Since they've been kind of taking a bit of a beating here. Okay. So we ended up going for a walk last night after the podcast. And the Christmas parade had long since ended in town. And apparently they were throwing candy during the Christmas parade like they do for the craft fair parade that they have at the end of the summer, because we were finding all kinds of candy wrappers and pieces of candy that people didn't pick up all in the street gutter. And I'm like, really? People left their bottles of water. Somebody left a little tiny bottle of soda, and I'm just like, really, people? What the hell? There were trash cans along the street. So that's not an excuse that there weren't any trash cans, because there were. So mad. Like, why can't you just pick up after yourselves? Like, what the hell? So annoyed. Like, it's fine if they're gonna throw the shit, but pick the shit up. I mean, it wasn't even just in downtown. It was also, like, they went through one residential neighborhood a couple streets behind us, and it was all over the sidewalks there, too. I was like, oh, these homeowners are gonna be mad. So with as windy as it's been, it's just gonna blow everywhere. I would have been mad. I was mad for them. I mean, not like our yard's a masterpiece. It's a bit of a hot mess, but you know, at least I'm not rude and leave my trash on somebody else's property. And you can still enjoy yourself and have a good time and not be a dick. These two things can happen at the same time. Alright. Oh, we found a couple hotspots on Zuzu, so now we know why he was itching quite so much. We've been trying to keep his hair trimmed a bit, because he seems pretty prone to them. And in the summer, it's not quite so bad. But in the winter, I don't like his fur cut that short, because it gets chilly in here. But then I wake up and he's plastered to my side, or to my stomach really, to my front. And I have dog feet in my face, so I was trying to figure out how I ended up in the position I did when I woke up, and I was halfway diagonal across the bed, and he was chasing me from the angle he was laying at, and I'm like, really, buddy? Like, this is why I get so hot when I sleep. And poor Momo was in the dog bed freezing. He kind of was all tucked into his blankets. I mean, I did have a fan on. I have to sleep with a fan. I get so stuffy. It could be 10 degrees outside and I'm sleeping with a fan on, so bundle up. Like, need the air blowing in my face. But he had a pretty warm fuzzy blanket that he was kind of tucked down into, and then what? Hi. What's up? What's up, pup? Speaking of Zuzu, what's up, my pupper? Did you just come to say hello? Or do you need something? Just gonna try to blend this in a little bit more. So we've got a few more flower petals to go here. And then hopefully we can at least start the base coat on the butterfly. All right, buddy, I need my hand back now. All right. And someone's tummy's upset, and we think it's Zuzu. We're not quite sure why. We don't know if this stomach issue of his is going to be something that's going to be a regular or what, but if his patty is not what we feel like it should be tomorrow, we're going to have to call the vet again and be like, hey, we might need some stomach meds again for the pooper doodle.
What are you getting into?
What?
You trying to get the toy?
Is he trying to get the toy, or does he want to go potty? Because he was over here bugging me a second ago.
You have to go pee-pee? Alright, hang on, buddy.
Alright. Get a little bit of this done. Oh, I think I forgot to feed the cat. I think that was on my list, and I forgot. The outside cat. Although I don't know how many other houses the outside cat eats at.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't eat that anywhere else but his home.
I just think it's fascinating.
There wouldn't be enough room in him.
Huh?
There wouldn't be, if he ate anywhere but his home, there wouldn't be enough room in him. He'd be spherical.
Like, I don't know how many other houses he visits, or if we're just lucky.
Well, considering how weird it is that we're up as late as we are and out visiting, accepting visits from the cat, I'm pretty sure we're it.
We seem to be his hunting ground. So, anybody have any special Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate traditions? Like, do you put your Christmas tree up early? Do you put it up Christmas Eve? Do you go Christmas caroling? Do you go to any special events or anything? And I know it might be a little different this year, or it may have been a little different with circumstances being what they are. Did you start any new holiday traditions because of circumstances being what they are, so that you can still have some holiday fun just in a different way? But humbug, you don't do much for Christmas. That's fair, that's fair. We don't do a whole lot either. Like, we put up some lights outside. And, we like to look at the lights that people put up in the neighborhood when we go on our walks at night. It certainly makes our walks not quite as lonely, and or as dark, because people have lights on, so that's always fun. We used to go downtown to Fayetteville and look at the light display that they did there. The electric company would do a big, was it the electric company or was it a different organization? I'm not sure now. Someone would do a big Christmas light display down there, and they would have like food trucks, or yeah, I guess kind of like food trucks set up, and with like hot chocolate and kettle corn and kind of like fair food stuff. But they'd have like pony rides for the kids and shit, and carriage rides around the square, but the carriage ride prices were a little pricey for what it was, so we didn't bother doing it, or we felt it was a little pricey. I mean, it might not have been. That might be the average price for that stuff. I mean, I do understand that carriages are expensive to maintain, and feeding the horses is a little expensive, but it was always out of our price range, put it that way. But we didn't do that last year with the state of things. We did in 2019, but there were so many kids running around, bumping into us, and just running, straight out running, and being underfoot in the crowd. Like, I didn't even know where their parents were, and I'm just like, what is happening? Why are you running around unsupervised in the dark at night? There's still cars and traffic going around the square through parts of it. It wasn't completely shut down to traffic and stuff. And I'm like, I understand you're excited for Christmas and all, but that doesn't mean that you can just run wherever and run into people and shit. And I think they had Santa there too for the kids. There might have been a live reindeer up there with him as well. I can't remember. But yeah, we're not doing that this year. We're just gonna drive around some of the neighborhoods here and look at some Christmas lights. In fact, I think we need to take the parents to go do that soon. The major things for me and the hubs is our Christmas dinner, and we don't do much of the rest of it. Fair enough. I mean, we do have our tree, but even though we don't put presents under it because, the animals would shred the wrapping, or the dog would be like, oh, I'm gonna pee on this, and I'm like, no! So, pet parent things. But I like the lights on it. And sometimes I'll have, like, the Christmassy lights up throughout the year. In the house, at the very least. Just because I'm a sucker for the pretty colored lights. And we haven't really had the money to get each other gifts in the past few years. And I haven't really been able to decorate the way I've wanted to outside. Because, you know, it takes money to do the outside stuff. Even if it is just from Dollar Tree, it still takes money. But I might be getting my flamingo themed Christmas tree next year, which I've been wanting. But I'm gonna make a lot of those ornaments for it. But that depends on if husband gets his disability approved. We are still fighting that fight. We have a lawyer involved now. So we'll see how that goes. We did call the lawyer. They did get all of our documents that they requested from us. And they submitted everything back to the disability people. And we have to wait and see what happens. We're very much in a holding pattern now. Which sucks because him and I don't like this not knowing. But there's not a whole lot that we can do about it. And we'll just have to see what happens from here. Alright, so last petal. And then we'll start to get the base coat in on the butterfly. We're not going to finish the butterfly today. Probably. We'll see how far we get. But yeah, we'll be doing Christmas dinner. We're actually doing a new thing this year where we're gonna do like a Chinese food themed Christmas Eve. Mostly so I don't have a humongous amount of dishes that I need to do the night before I have to do a shit ton of cooking. So I figure if we all eat pretty much the same thing, I can kind of keep that mess under control. So we're gonna have like some egg roll wrap chips. We're gonna have husband's gonna make some fried wontons with cream cheese in the middle. He's gonna have general chicken, and I'm gonna make orange chicken, and broccoli for myself and the parents. I've already got the sauce in the freezer left from the last batch I made. So we'll see. Hopefully that works out and it's not too obnoxious to deal with. But then I'm making a turkey on Christmas Day, and we'll have all of that. Okay, so now I need to actually look at the reference photo. Alright, so this is gonna kinda I think we're gonna do this as a base of black on the butterfly itself. Looking at what we've got to work with here. Just because I think it'll be a little bit easier to deal with here. And then we can work in the rest of the colors and shading later. So this black might actually need 2 coats here. It's drying fairly quickly, but it could also be, even though the wood's gessoed, it is still sucking in the liquid from the paint a little bit, because I only put like 2 coats of gesso on here. And I probably could have gone a bit more on that. Oh, ow. Oh, grats. Grats on 56. I need to not move my neck that way. Oh, shit. That's gonna hurt. That might be a problem in a little while. Shit. If I'm not thinking about how I move my head. Couldn't figure out what the noise was I was hearing. I was trying to see what the husband was doing, see if the noise was coming from in here. And when I craned my head around to try to see over my monitor, I kind of pulled my neck. Shit. That's not cool. Alright, so yeah, we're probably gonna have to let that layer dry on that. But grats on 56, very nice. I can't tell if it's getting a little streaky because of the lighting, or if it's actually a little bit streaky. Like, I know the majority of this butterfly is like this pinkish color, but I really want to have the base of this be black, and then we can just do a couple coats on the pink where needed. If you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to. You are more than welcome to do it whatever way you want. Alright. So I'm kind of on the line there with the petals. I don't think I went over it too far. Doesn't seem like I did. Just trying to catch any spots that looks like I may have missed. The bristles on this are a little everywhere, so I'm trying not to make too much of a mess. At least that's the plan. Will it actually work out that way? Don't know. Which type of butterfly is it? You know? Let me see. C L O K M L A. Let me check real quick. So I got this photo from Unsplash. And let me see. Did I save this photo? Because let me see if I can get to the... I know I downloaded a bunch. I guess I didn't... Oh, maybe it's in my collections. I was looking at a bunch of stuff. If I don't see it here, then I have the link to it, or I have the name of the guy that took it. So, Aaron Burden. A-A-R-O-N. Burden. Where is... No, I want... No, I want to... Really? Can I just search for... It's being so silly. So let me see here. So let me see if I can type this in. AARON-BURDENCKO. Let me see if I can find it. know if it says, it's tagged orange butterfly, but that is not orange. Purple butterfly on, okay, that was on Google Images. Does it say what type of butterfly this is? I'm on his page. It just says purple butterfly or pink butterfly on purple flower or something like that. It doesn't actually list it. This is his, that's the link to the photo. And it was Aaron Burden who took the photo. But it did not appear to be tagged with the type. But that is the photographer. No problem. So yeah, I'm not sure what the butterfly species is. All right. So we're just working on getting the base of our butterfly put in. And it looks like that photographer is available for hire. Looking at his Unsplash page. So I'm just trying to go for as smooth of a coat as possible. Since we are putting another color on top of this. Okay, so the little light up in here, but that's okay. We're gonna have to do another coat on this anyhow. Just want to make sure that we are getting all of our sketch lines taken care of here, and I just want to be a little bit careful. as I am working the edge of this creature here. All right. Oh, got my screen blocked. There we go. Just needed to make sure that I was in the frame here, because sometimes I'm very much not. Okay. So we're just gonna work on getting this guy locked in here. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. And are you working on any art projects? If you are, I'd love to hear about it. Okay. So we're not quite to putting in the lines on this yet, making it a mosaic look, or giving it a mosaic look. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So a couple spots on this might need a little bit of a touch-up, where it looks a little thin. But we don't have to go too crazy yet touching up, because it is going to get some other colors put on top here. Sorry, I saw that piece of fuzz. I wanted to grab that while I saw it. So it's cold out there where I'm at today, so I hope everybody's staying warm if it's cold where you are. And if it's hot, well, I hope you're able to cool off. Winter returned with a vengeance from those storms Friday night. Absolutely crazy. Just madness. Alright. Thinking about changing my Twitter banner. Might change it to something non-digital. Thinking of actually taking some crowns and doing something with those if I have the time. Just for something different. Alright. So I've got a little bit of a thin spot there. And here. Oh! Got a little carried away there. Came over onto the flower petal a little bit further than I had wanted to. Okay, so there's the base of our butterfly. And I'm gonna try to do our antennas here. We will see how much of a disaster this ends up being. So they might end up being a little big for the butterfly, but I need them a little bit big. Well, no, actually, okay. I can just, alright, never mind. I figured out what I could do for that. I was gonna say, because I have to put the tile lines on them, but I can just make them part of the other tile piece that's gonna go around it, so that should be fine. It's okay if those look a little wobbly. I mean, they are antennas. They are gonna be a little wonky. Sometimes they get a little bent and beat up. Now, I do have to deal with the center of this flower, and I'm not sure. I don't want to do it yet because I don't want to lose the proper edge of the butterfly, so let me clean off that brush. Alright, so our top edge is gonna be kind of our pinky color. I'm trying to figure out what color I wanted to go with on this because one's a little more pink than the other, and I kind of feel like this one, the top one's a little more purple. So I don't know. I think we're gonna go with the royal fuchsia is what we're gonna end up doing. Just want to make sure I shake it up really good. Alright. I'm not gonna put a whole lot of this out today because I'm not sure how far we're gonna get with it. Alright, so let me grab that. Alright, let's work on the middle of our butterfly first. Watch this color be super opaque when I'm expecting it to be transparent. Oh, it's not too bad. I've got a piece of fuzz stuck in here. It's driving me crazy. All right. Now to try to keep track of where the edge of our body is supposed to be. That's the tough part. All right, so probably not gonna be super awesome in here. We're probably gonna have to play with it a little bit. To kind of get the look we're going for here. I have a feeling he's gonna turn opaque super quick. So I might have to get some more black paint in here. Which is fine if we do. Like, it won't be a huge surprise. But we'll see if we can keep it from getting a little too bright. Okay. Let's see how that goes. I might need to dry brush some black paint back into that, and that's okay. Might be a little bit easier to do it that way. But it is drying a bit muted, so I'm okay with that. That might just work. For kind of the coloration that I'm looking for. Now, it's not going to be exact to the photo. And that is more than fine. Really don't want it to be 100% dead on, just close. So he's going to be a little bit streaky there, and that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to give that a second to dry. Clean up our brush here. All right, so I am going to take a little bit of this, and there's a faint kind of pinkish trim to the edge of our butterfly wing. On the top edge there, and then as it comes down to the corner, it kind of gets a little bit more of a whiter look to it. Dang, I might have to use this brush for my paint by number for the little tiny spots. Did not realize I had a liner that was gonna look quite that good. Most of my fine liners are pretty beat up at this point, just because of how old they are. I put way too much of this color down on the palette. Way too much. Alright, so that's kind of in there. Now you do lose the antennae a little bit. With the middle of the flower going in. We will see what we can do about that. Center of our flower is actually black. So we'll see if we can be very delicate here. As we start to work that in. Now the butterfly itself and the quote unquote fake grout lines, we're gonna put those in next week, because I am starting to run short on time today. And I think the husband might be having an anxiety attack, so I'm probably gonna have to wrap up here soon and check on him. Or at least that's kind of what it sounded like a few minutes ago. just kind of work on finishing up this top section. And then we'll call it a day for today. And it's okay that we've got these little spiky doos coming up, because the center of this guy is kind of all sorts of spiky doos, and it looks like there might be a little bit of brown on the edges of this flower center, so we'll come back next week and got a little carried away there. Sorry, we'll have time to fix that real quick. And we'll add a quick pass of brown on that section next week. So let me rinse off that brush, and I just need to touch this up real quick so I don't forget. There we go. Alright, so we will finish the butterfly next week. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I usually remember to post when I'm about to go live over there. There is also the Etsy store where some of the stuff that we've done on stream can be purchased. The link should be down below. The name of the shop there is Nisey Paints. There's also the Kofi page for those that may want to donate but don't want to donate through Twitch. You can use the link to the Kofi page on the screen or down below. And I have a small gallery of stuff I've done posted there. There's also the YouTube channel where I archive most of the live streams, and feel free to give that a subscription. That is free to do over there, and that would help that out. We have to wait till next week. Yes, I'm sorry. I've got to go check on the husband, make sure he's okay. Sound like he was having a rough day a few minutes ago. And I'm starving. I have to make dinner for me and the dogs. So, but we should be able to finish it up next week with putting in the rest of the butterfly and putting in our tile lines. So yeah, you too. Thanks. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. Be careful if you're working on any challengers. I will be back on Wednesday with WoW Challenges Wednesday, and we're going to be working on some more Bloodthirsties, trying to level them up, and a Pacifist as well, if we have time. Thursday this week will be Minecraft, and Friday this week, I really should pop into Planet Zoo. Maybe we'll do every other week on Friday. We'll swap back and forth between Franchise Friday and Timberborn. So this week will be Planet Zoo. You guys have a great day, and I hope to see you all on Wednesday. Till then, have a good one.